Hey everyone, it's been a minute, yeah? Well, to tell you the truth about it all, really, I just found myself not really interested enough in a lot of the media that was dropping throughout the past couple months to really want to make videos for it. But recently, I have been really wanting to get back into it, so I'm really gonna try and get back into it, get everyone together. There are a couple videos planned for the next few days, but today we're going to be talking about The Boys Season 4.
The Vernon family started out as slave catchers. I bet A-Train here would have given my great-great-granddaddy a run for his money.
Oh.
Huh? But we would have caught you.
Oh.
The Boys Season 4 wrapped up not too long ago, and well, it was definitely something. But don't get me wrong, the finale was great. It was like one of, if not the best finale in Boys history, in my opinion. But to be honest, I really just felt that after watching the finale and the rest of the season, like it was just pretty like a strange season. Like each episode really just felt like a random adventure loosely connected to the rest of the season. Almost like how like those CW shows, like those early CW shows, the early seasons had that like villain of the week type of pacing. And each episode but leading up to finale really kind of felt like that same each episode is its own individual thing type of pacing. Each episode in the season really felt like it had the same pattern of the boys having a plan. They spend the whole episode trying to accomplish the plan. Then near the end, this plan either goes wrong or they fail, they almost die, and then next episode they got to get a new plan. Halfway through the season, I really felt myself thinking, like, okay, well, season's almost over. There's only about 4 episodes left, and nothing has changed. We're no closer to killing Homelander or Newman. MM is still trying to lead the team and failing. Butcher is still dying, hallucinating. And really, many of the plot lines that were introduced in those early episodes just felt like we were going in circles half the time. Another thing that I found weird about this season was that it felt like it almost went too far or like too overboard with how the show parodies the real world and its politics. And yeah, The Boys has always been like super edgy and centered around parodying the real world. This time it really just felt like super like too much, almost to the point where it felt like it was too much like parody, intentionally like just trying to be a joke.
Ready to talk? Eat shit!
100 million to Black Lives Matter.
No, not those people! Oh, no, wait! Oh,
Do it.
no, please!
Or who knows, maybe that was the point. Then on the other hand, we have all this stuff about Team Starlight, Team Homelander, the Vought cinematic universe having like 20 plus phases like the MCU, everything with the firecracker and the truth bomb stuff. So much of it was just on the nose. And it was just like, hey, look at this thing that's happening in real life. Very similar to real life. Like it's funny, right? Like it's a joke. And some of it was funny at times, but at the end, like rewatching the season, it was just overbearing. It was just like they were trying to see how much stuff can we make fun of in the real world, especially like all this stuff that happened with Huey at the tech night party. Everything really just felt like it was just for jokes 24/7. For me, the best parts of the season were really just A-Train and the finale. A-Train especially. A-Train really was the character that kicked off the boys and has really been the one of the main antagonists since the first season. But I love how they're slowly trying to let him kind of redeem himself to try and like make up for everything he's done, even though he really can't. But in this season, I really loved his relationship with MM and Huey. You can tell he's really starting to become more and more disillusioned with the whole fake superhero that Vought wants them all to be, and he's trying to like actually be a good hero for real. Now, even though the season had its ups and downs, the finale really massively made up for it all, even to the point where I felt like I was saying, like, they could have just dropped the finale and skipped the first 7 episodes because so many plot lines just did not matter when it came to finale. One that comes up to mind is Frenchie's plotline with Colin. Completely did not matter and was resolved so quickly, and it's really, you could tell it was only an excuse to set him up with Kimiko. MM's anxiety plotline didn't really do anything except for like 2 episodes, and it was really just, I felt like it was to give A-Train an excuse to save him and give A-Train that hero moment. Butcher, which is usually my favorite character in the season, really was on the back burner this time. He really spent the whole season just hallucinating Joel Kessler, and he really only locked in the last episode, but that made up for it. Starlight was like losing her powers, and even though I rewatched it, I can't remember if it was like why did she lose her powers? And then like she just got them back in the end to fly, which they mentioned like once in the episode, in like episode 2 or something. But like that's just was one of the biggest problems with the season. There was just so many things that were just like useless or just did not matter in the end. But regardless, this finale was one of, if not the best finale in The Boys, because it was really one of the only ones that didn't reset the boys to square one for the next season. Where like most of the finales previously were just like, well, dang, guess we gotta find another way to kill Homelander next season. With this finale, basically our whole cast and main lineup is captured, and Homelander is finally in his position to rule or just the world or just kill everyone with him being in the White House, really. This is the first time I've really sat through a finale of The Boys and wondered, like, oh my god, like what is gonna happen next? Now that we got Butcher, who is fully gone to the dark side, A-Train deserted the Seven, he was just nowhere to be seen. Since Starlight is the only one who didn't get captured, this finale set up the final season, or just the next season of Gen V if they decide to follow up with this, to be insane and like truly cement The Boys as one of the best recent TV shows. Overall, The Boys season 4 was just, for the most part, it was pretty good. Like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't horrible. It was just, I feel like this was the first season where I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, The Boys, like, it needs to end. Which is why I'm super glad that they confirmed season 5 is the next season. I mean, the final season. Season 5 is the final season. So I'm really hoping, I'm really like starting to see the point where like Boys is starting to age, and now it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, let's wrap it all up and finally put a 10 in. But one thing that kind of makes me worried about the future of The Boys is like in the show, it's funny because they make fun of all this like VOD cinematic universe, VOD TV, VOD has like all these different things. But now we're getting to the point where The Boys itself is starting to do the same thing. Like we have The Boys, we have Gen V, we have Gen V season 2 coming out. We have this Soldier Boy and Stormfront prequel that's about to come out. Then we have Boys Mexico. So it's starting to get to the point where it's like, do we really need all these shows in The Boys universe? Gen V was like it was a risk they took, but it was a good risk. But do we really need The Boys Mexico? Do we really need a Soldier Boy and Stormfront prequel? It's just, I'm worried about The Boys becoming this thing where it's just like The Boys has like 7 different shows, and then we're kind of like just like does that kind of like derive from like the original like goodness of The Boys? I don't know, but overall I think Boys is pretty good right now, and I'm super excited to see what they do with this final season and season 2 of Gen V. And from the finale of this, from season 5, I feel like they can really set this up to just be a great season. All they have to do is truly just stick the landing. But really, that's going to be all for this little rant about The Boys. Let me know your guys' thoughts by dropping a like or a comment, and feel free to subscribe right down there. I'm sorry for the pretty inconsistent schedule. I feel like I'll say that for like the last 3 videos, some we're working on, so keep an eye out for a Deadpool and Wolverine video and a video about the crazy drop that happened at Comic-Con. But with that being said, I'll see you guys next one.